Wow, a whole week has gone by. The bridge area, the area where I had the temporary bridge, is gradually getting less sensitive, but a really cool thing happened is that I instituted cube doctors, and that is because the automatons had taken over all the hospitals, and because of the mistake I made in 2022, taking out 72 million innocent medical people, when we discovered that the automaton Sun Tzu basically betrayed me and Brent and wanted to take me out and usurp me. He had like all of the medical people as part of his military. And so we decided to make doctors who could do house visits. And they show up in a cube that's like the shape of a penis, because they're Jesuits. And what I was able to do, once I got my Antichrist powers on August the 2nd, is I was able to create Jesuit clones of the doctors that died in August 2022. And at first, when we used them, the automatons would murder them and wouldn't let them into the hospitals. So I suggested to my men that we create cube doctors, that is, doctors who would visit people in their homes and bring the hospital to them. And I believe that that is now 100% in effect. It took about a month and a half, I think. But now we don't need the hospitals or the automaton doctors because of our cube doctors. It wasn't safe for the Jesuit clones that I'd made of the doctors. You see, when the doctors were taken out in August 2022, there were only like 20 medical people, I think, in the whole country that were not automatons. That's what Rule 13 told me. So she said we thought about bringing in foreign doctors, but a lot of them weren't listening to my edicts. So anyways, the good news is we got cube doctors. They show up in the form of like a cube house that enters your home, and then you have to lick something, I don't know, lick some penis or something to get it to expand. It's some sort of Jesuit technology. Jesuit technology is all based on semen and penises and stuff like that. So, but Zach and I in Rule 13, who used to be Jesuit rulers, let me know that that is how it would work. And it's going really well. In fact, it helped me out, because right after I had the bridge work done, it was very painful. And Brent had my dentist visit my apartment as a cube dentist. So he was able to give me 2 root canals in this area right here. But it's still been painful, but that's mostly been brain control. But it would have been unbearable. The reason I know it's brain control, let me tell you why, is because the pain is, sometimes it'll be completely gone. And then when they use the brain control, it comes back. So yeah, Brent said the reason you're feeling symptoms here is because the area is irritated. So yeah, the cube doctor technology, so now we don't need the automaton doctors. We have our own cube doctors. And these doctors are really good, like if there's a hurricane or something, you no longer, the hospital comes to you, so you don't need to rely on an ambulance to go to the hospital. With the cube doctors, they bring everything they need to your home, including anything they need if they have to do it like an operation or something. So yeah, it's something that I thought of so that we could take care of the medical needs of the American population without the automatons. And from what I understand, it's going very well. Yeah. So yeah, that actually helped me. You see, I cannot go to Church of Gail. If I go to Church of Gail, my genetic profile is in all my enemy scanners, and I would just dematerialize and not rematerialize. So now they can bring the doctors to me because of this cube doctor technology. So yeah, he was able to do root canal. But I got to admit, it sure hasn't felt like it because the brain control has been terrible. Yeah, it's been really terrible. They're using brain control so that every little pain that I feel in this mouth feels about 5 times worse than it is. And I just tell myself, just be patient. Eventually, it's going to die down. And but it's not. The reason I know it's brain control is I go through periods through the day where I'm feeling no pain at all. And then all of a sudden, like when it's time for me to eat dinner, all of a sudden it gets painful. So that's how I know it's brain control. Yeah. So I have faith in the process, and I do believe that eventually, it's going to feel really good in there. I have a temporary bridge in there right now. I had a really bad infection in the tooth that was pulled, and I have a lot of bone loss all over, in my mouth. And so I guess the mouth tends to be sensitive as it is. So I'm just grateful that that I was able to get this done. My husband Brent recommended that I get the bridge work done, and I do whatever he says. Yeah. If it wasn't for him and Jesus, I don't even think I'd be alive right now. As far as my Antichrist powers, in a way, I'm finding being an Antichrist has been liberating. Now that I no longer have to worry about dying, and since I have all sorts of powers, I've got healing powers. My main concern right now is, since I have the ability to determine the future of Earth, I want it to be what I've always dreamed Earth would be. Before Satan chose me to be Antichrist, I used to dream about Christ's 1,000-year millennial reign, and I was very excited about it. As a born-again Christian, or coming from a evangelical background, and holding the pre-mill, pre-trib position, which Jesus said was correct before the Bible was canceled. I was looking forward to a world where there would be the brain control is making me cough, where there would be light everywhere, love and peace and harmony, and no wars, and the average lifespan of the humans would be like 1,000 years old. A baby would be 100 years old. And one of the reasons I was so disappointed when the Bible was canceled was that wasn't going to happen. But now I see an opportunity here. I believe now that something like that could happen. Yeah, it's part of my like Hindu Buddhist belief system right now. I am trying to live thankfully in the moment, but I do believe that I can be the wave in the ocean to get that going. Yeah, you might say, how can you do it as Antichrist? Well, I told Satan, if you've chosen me as your Antichrist, I got to let you know, Satan, there's a lot of stuff that you do or you have done that I don't agree with, and I'm against rape. The Genghis Khan Nazis tested me on that, and I said no. I mean, I do use my powers to have men ejaculate to help build up our semen supply, but I keep forgetting because I am asexual leaning. I keep forgetting to do that. But sometimes I remember. But yeah, I just, I haven't given up my dream of wanting a world that would have been like Christ's millennial reign. I was taught by the particular group that I hung around with, who a lot of them were Dallas Theological Seminary graduates, that the millennial reign would be a return to Garden of Eden conditions. And that is what I want for this planet. Garden of Eden before the fall. Okay? You say, how could... And you know what? I may be the Antichrist, but that's what I'm aiming for. And I think the best way to do that is by being a very... I have a spiritual practice where I try to live joyfully in the moment, and I try to find my joy. Like, I am so thrilled that my husband is living with me, even though I don't see him. And according to my husband, I don't have any infections in my body anymore, and my gut has been 100% healed. Because of my Antichrist powers. Now I want to heal the planet. My goal as an Antichrist is to bring Earth back to the Garden of Eden. I want it to be a free and true love utopia. And that is my dream. And the way I'm trying to bring that about is by being the example of what a free and true love icon should be. I now understand that the way to have my free and true love utopia is not through what I used to think. I used to think the way to have it was a final battle, having to defeat the forces of evil, Satan and all the bad people having to go to the lake of fire. Though I understand in the canceled Bible why they felt that had to happen in order to have the free and true love utopia, I now think there's a better way. And I think that is to be the wave in the ocean, to be the prime example of a free and true love person. I've learned that I have to be totally comfortable with myself and just live joyfully in the moment. Basically, my spiritual practice, which I've been making a lot of YouTube videos on, that has really helped me. Helped me to be true to who I really am. One of the advantages of not having to fear dying anymore is that I can focus on what really matters to me. And I understand now that I really care about having something equivalent to that 1,000-year millennial reign. That's why I can't tolerate the Genghis Khan Nazis. My goal when I had Rule 13, make a clone of him, was to keep the automatons from setting up a slave state, because that's basically what it would have been if they ruled. It would be a slave state. It would be slavery. How can I have a free and true love utopia with a bunch of mechanical robots insisting that everybody be subservient to them? That's not freedom. And yeah, I feel like everybody should be true to who they are and free to just be themselves. And I believe that everybody at their core is good. If you are practicing evil, you are lost on your path. you're in a state of mind where you feel like you need to prove yourself somewhere, which is the way I kind of used to be. And that's how I got off my path and made some very bad decisions. Yeah, so right now I feel like if we make decisions based on anger and fear, we need to be very careful. Or revenge or jealousy. So I've been very much at peace. I enjoy my meditation times, and it gives me clarity about how to conduct myself as the Antichrist. I don't like that title Antichrist, because a lot of what Jesus stands for, I stand for too. Like I said, so as the Antichrist, I'm just trying to be the icon for free and true love. Part of that is I have a wonderful, awesome relationship with my husband, Brent Spiner. And I am just basking in that every day. When Brett came into my life in the early 1990s, I felt that the love that I sensed he felt for me was so miraculous, it was worth waiting a whole lifetime for. So I actually was in love with him starting about 1991, when he propositioned me on the phone, and I turned him down at that time because it was against my religious convictions, and I didn't get to be married to him until 2022. So basically I waited about 30 years. Let me see, that was 1991, 2001, about 30 years before I could marry the man of my dreams, and now he's here. My attitude was, after I experienced Brent in the early 1990s, I told myself, after experiencing a love this awesome, I can't settle for anything else. It would be better to be single than to settle for anything else. And the patience has paid off, because he's with me now. And look at what he's done, because I never gave up on him. Even when it appeared like I should, like when it appeared he was, with Lori McBride. I was very confused by that, and I've made a lot of Gail Schuler stories about that. But the bottom line is I have learned in my life that when I follow my heart and go after my dreams, I'm never sorry. And my dream in the early 1990s was to have my dream man, even if it would be in the next life. And now he's with me. I still have dreams, and I'm happy, but I'm finding the best way to make your dreams come true is to learn to be happy where you're at, to live joyfully in the moment. And then it's like your dreams just kind of flow to you. I still have a dream. Like right now, I have what I call almost a perfect relationship with my husband, Brent. Except I don't see him, but it's still like a perfect relationship to me, because he's my soulmate, and I know he's here with me, even though he's in another dimension. And because of my asexual tendencies, I can be very happy in this state. Yeah, I can talk to him all day long, brain to brain. He talks to me brain to brain, and our brain to brain communication's been getting a lot more accurate. But now I have another dream. I have my perfect lover with me. Now I want us to live in our perfect world. And I think I can learn from the past how to get that dream. And that is, I must never, ever give up on it. Just like I never, ever gave up on Brent, and now I have him. If I never, ever give up on my dream, to have an equivalent to Christ's millennial reign here on earth. Now that I'm the Antichrist, I believe I can make it happen. You said, but you... I believe I can. I will never give up on this dream. You might say, well, I'm going to do the same thing that I did back in the 1990s. Just don't give up on it. Just take it one day at a time. I may have to change the action steps to realize my dream, but I'm never going to give up on it. Because that's what makes me happy. I have my perfect lover now. Now I want us to have a perfect world to live in. You say, well, the world's never going to be perfect. Well, that may be true, but it's kind of exciting to think that as the Antichrist, I have the potential to help bring it about. Even if I can't get my perfect world, I think it's worth trying. You say, what is a perfect world to you? It's a world where free and true love can prosper, where everybody is free to be themselves, where there's no more war, where sickness is gone, at least on this planet, where physical death is conquered. You say, that's like, that would be kind of like what Jesus wanted to do after his millennial reign. Yeah, that's what I want. And you know what? I think I can help bring it about. You say, you're going to need some help from deities, yeah? But I'm going to try. That's my dream. You say, how can you help bring it about? By being the wave in the ocean. In the Garden of Eden, they could have lived forever if they didn't eat of that apple. I think it was an apple because Satan made an apple pie to celebrate me being the Antichrist, and he said he got it from that forbidden fruit. So anyways, you say, an Antichrist can't do that. You're supposed to be the harbinger of doom and death and evil. Yeah, well, I don't have to do what everybody says I'm supposed to do. Yeah, that's one thing I'm learning. I told Satan, I said, okay, I didn't choose to be Antichrist, you chose it. And I'm going to be, he said, you say I can be Antichrist however I want? And he said, yep. I said, okay, I'm against rape. No rape. So some people say that I'm actually practicing rape when I tell the men to ejaculate, but I think I only do that like once a day and only for like 3 minutes, and they enjoy it, so it's sort of consensual. I don't like using brain control. That's like brain rape. I don't like forcing somebody to have sex against their will or manipulating them. I'm against brain control. I'm into free and true love utopia. How can you have a free and true love utopia if you're using brain control on people? I also would like to see the war stop and the hatred to stop. I want us all to get along. Yeah. That's my dream. You know, I don't know if it's true or not, but I hear that the Genghis Khan Nazis in hell, I heard this brain to brain, that they're able to communicate with the living Genghis Khan Nazis. And so I tried using my Antichrist powers to create a portal from hell to the lake of fire. I think Brent told me, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I think he told me brain to brain that the lake of fire is in the middle of the planet Saturn. And I said, yeah, I think there was like a rebellion in hell because of me. And they're saying, she's supposed to be evil, and she is evil, or she wouldn't be the Antichrist. And she's against rape, and that's hypocritical, because if she's the Antichrist, she can't be against rape. And I said, well, I can be Antichrist however I want. I am against rape. You say, well, what about P. Diddy? I don't believe that his sex parties were rape. If they were, I would have disagreed with him. I think what was going on there, and I already made a video about it, was that the Jesuits were just practicing their lifestyle and who they are as a people, okay? And some people had an identity crisis, didn't know who they were, and felt like they were being pressured to be one way when they didn't want to be that way. Personal opinion for me, I think sex parties would be an absolute bore, okay? Because I'm asexual leaning. So I can understand that. But what I don't, even though I feel that way, I do not feel I have the right to force my asexual leanings on everyone else, okay? Jesuits have the right to be who they are. And if you are a Jesuit and you're not comfortable with a sex party, then just tell your fellow Jesuits that you're not. And they need to respect that. And if they don't, then they're raping you, and I'm against rape. Yeah. Anyways, I believe my husband has pardoned P. Diddy, so yeah, I'm against rape, and I would like to, on the other hand, I don't think there's anything wrong with a sex party. Well, even Jesus, when he was here, had sex parties. I think they're kind of stupid. I think they're kind of dumb, but I don't think, that's because I'm asexual leaning, okay? I actually think they're boring, but that doesn't mean that I think they're wrong or evil, okay? We're all entitled to have our preferences. I think if somebody enjoys sex parties and it's all consensual, that's part of free love. But to honor true love, I don't think you should force it on somebody who doesn't want to do it. And if you are a Jesuit, don't feel that just because you're a Jesuit, and most Jesuits are hypersexual, okay? Which to me is boring, but you know, don't feel like you have to be a label. So I'm a Jesuit, so I'm expected to be hypersexual. No, if you're a Jesuit, you're expected to be you. Don't even use the Jesuit label on yourself. You are you, okay? And if you don't enjoy the sex parties, then don't do them. But don't try to deprive your fellow Jesuits of the pleasure of a sex party if they're doing it in a manner where everybody's consensual with it, okay? So I already talked about that, so yeah. I just want everyone to feel free to be themselves as long as they're conducting their sex life and their life in general in a manner where true love is also promoted. And I believe it is possible. We all need to get out of the mentality where we need to prove ourselves. Nobody needs to prove anything. Just be you. You see? Oh, I'm wearing a shirt that my friend Josh gave me. Yeah. Just be you. If you're homosexual or lesbian or whatever, and that's who you really are, be you. There's nothing wrong with who you are. And you don't need a label to define yourself. Just be you. And it's like Buddha said to us, a man may say he's heterosexual, and maybe he meets a special man in his life, and he thinks he loves him, and he has an affair with him for maybe a month or so. Does that mean he's homosexual? No, it just means he had a special relationship with a man for a month. You see what I mean? We got to drop the labels. Just be you. As long as your special relationships are not hurting anyone, and it's all consensual, it's cool with me as ruler of earth. That's part of my true and free love utopia. Yeah. I don't have a problem with any form of free love. Polyamory, sex parties, any of that. As long as you're not violating other people's autonomy, as long as you're respecting everybody's preferences and everybody's consensual about it. And as long as you're not hurting innocence. Yeah, no problem. On the other hand, if somebody's monogamous and they want to be monogamous, you need to respect that. And don't interfere with a monogamous relationship. And this is where I think we get into trouble. We start thinking, it's my way or the highway, or everybody's got to be like me. No, everybody needs to be themselves. This is the world I'm aiming for, where everybody feels free to be themselves. Where you don't feel obligated to be somebody other than you. Yeah. I think that leads to a lot of problems. We have this like groupthink mentality. I mean, if you're an evangelical Christian, you think it's wrong to be homosexual, or it's wrong to have sex before marriage. I used to believe this about sex before marriage. I used to be such a prude. And that's most of that for me came from a need to prove that I wasn't evil. You don't need to prove anything. None of us is evil. But if you start believing it, you're going to act evil because you believe you're evil. Just need to relax, go with the flow, be you. You have nothing to prove. And if I can be the wave in the ocean that gets that going, I think we can get to our true and free love utopia. Yeah. In the meanwhile, there are, unfortunately, groups of people and individuals who feel like they've got something to prove. That would be like the Genghis Khan Nazis, and they're going to try to force their sexual preferences on everybody else. And I cannot tolerate that. So I have to take severe measures with them. You know, when I was kind of aware that Genghis Khan was a rapist, and I figured as long as I allowed him to be polyamorous, it would be fine. But no, he couldn't be content with that. He had to be a full-fledged rapist, forcing his sexual preferences on people that didn't want it, which is rape. He also has no problem with using brain control, which I call brain rape. I'm against that too. You might say, well, I actually have the ability to use brain control as an antichrist power. But frankly, I don't want to do it. The only brain control that I use is I will every now and then allow the men to ejaculate to help build up our semen supply, but even that I find kind of boring. I'm too asexual leaning. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I do have a dream. I would like to have a free and true love utopia. I just want us all to get along. You say that dream is not realistic. I used to feel that way about having Brent as my husband, and now guess what? I've got him. I've learned to never give up on my dreams. And if I don't, they come true. I will not give up on. Now that I am the Antichrist, you say, how can we help you? We'd like to have that millennial reign. Be the wave in the ocean. Relax. Be you, unabashedly you. Don't let a label define you. You might want to listen to my videos on spiritual practice. I'm kind of like a Buddhist Hindu Christian right now, but I do believe that when we relax, live joyfully in the moment, and be that wave in the ocean, we spread our joy and our love and our peace. And eventually, we'll all be that wave in the ocean, and we're going to have our utopia. And I believe that if enough of us become those waves in the ocean that are filled with joy, love, and peace, living joyfully in the moment, we may get the help of some deities to help us bring about that millennial, the beautiful earth that I want for us. I want us to have such an earth that we go out the door and there's sunshine everywhere. And everybody is filled with joy. And everybody is thankful. And suffering has pretty much, in our dimension, has pretty much ended. And we're getting victory over illness and over death. And our joy does not come from seeing others suffer, but from forgiveness and love and compassion and tolerance. That's what I want. So anyways, yeah, I have a lot to be thankful for. Yeah, and I'm excited about the opportunity to be that wave in the ocean to help my dream to come true. Unfortunately, even though I hate having to take out people that are getting in the way of that dream, I am not going to allow the Genghis Khan Nazis to stop this dream from coming about. I cannot have my free and true love utopia with a bunch of rapists trying to run the planet, okay? And I won't tolerate it. Anyways, you guys, I had to make my video. I did a lot of sewing today, and I remade some bras. Let me see if I can show you what I did. Brent's been telling me brain to brain it's not safe for me to go online because apparently the Genghis Khan Nazis are able to steal your identity if you order anything online. So I don't know if that's an accurate brain to brain or not, but I know it's probably true for me. Jesus told me many years ago he wants me to buy everything in person in the store. So yeah, I have these big boobs, right? And they don't make bras for my boobs anymore. And so I actually made a pattern for a bra because the only bra that I can find that's comfortable, I have to order online. And I'm not going to be doing that. And then I bought these at Walmart, and I didn't like them because they don't have like the thing in the middle. So I used my sewing skills to modify them, and I had 2 others, and now they're working for me. Yeah. And so I'm determined not to buy anything online. Yeah, 'cause I always get in trouble when I do. So I buy everything in person in the store. And if they don't carry what I want, I'll find a way to make it work. So I use my sewing skills to come up with a pattern for a bra that will work for me. So I don't feel like my breasts are being constricted. And like I do a lot of walking, so I need fairly good support, you know, in my breast area. And the latest Walmart bras that I got, my breasts don't stay underneath the bra. They're a stupid design. And I'm hearing brain to brain that it was deliberate, that the Genghis Khan Nazis did it deliberately because they wanted women to be so unhappy with any bras that they could get in the store because they'd be so uncomfortable that they would start ordering the bras online, and then they would get their identity stolen and their bank accounts would be drained. Yeah. That's what I'm hearing their goal is. They took over all the bra companies like Fruit of the Loom and Hanes and told them make it so that only the only way to get a comfortable bra for a woman is she has to order online, and then we'll be able to hack into the the place where they ordered it and get all the money out of their bank. Yeah. Well, they need money for their military operations, and these are clones, so yeah, I hear the Genghis Khan Nazis are doing that. I don't know if it's true, that's what I'm hearing brain to brain. So I refused to help them out, so I found a way. I said, okay, since I can't find a comfortable bra, I'll just make one. So I actually have the pattern at my website, though I'm hearing brain to brain that they might start making, we might start our own company, making comfortable bras for women. Just like we started a restaurant, the Gail restaurants all over the place. So there, you know what? When I'm in a situation, I try not to get attached to certain outcomes because then I always get into trouble. Like, I'm not trying to control my life. I'm learning to rest and go with the flow. But when you're resting and going with the flow, your mind calms down enough where you can think of solutions. And so I fixed 3 of my bras today using the sewing machine. And what's really interesting is I actually broke that sewing machine when I lived in Florida because I used shredder oil in it. You never use shredder oil in a sewing machine. But I was so attached to it. I love the Singer 1120 mechanical sewing machine. It works really good on, it's really easy to use. And I didn't want to get a new sewing machine. I was able to fix it with WD-40. I kind of eliminated a lot of the guck, and then I used regular sewing machine oil. And so it's still working. I bought it in like 2004 when I worked at Walmart. So yeah, nobody told me to use WD-40. I just figured it out on my own. When my mind calms down, I can think clearly. I thought, well, it's obvious that the reason it's not working and why the gears are all frozen is because there's a lot of guck from using the wrong oil in that machine. And if I use WD-40, I can get a lot of that guck out, and it worked. Oh, it took a while, though. I had to use a lot of WD-40 because I put a lot of the wrong oil in there. But I am just so grateful that in my small studio apartment, I have the ability to sew, to cook like a gourmet. I can do everything I need here. I am so blessed. Yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to share my dreams with you. And I'll be getting my permanent bridge in early November, I think. But yeah, I basically am very content. I have Brent, and I can do all the things I love, like cook and sew and write, though I'm too busy to do it all. And I have a great team and great friends, and I have a lot to be thankful for. And I'm never going to give up on my dream for a world like what I wanted when I was a Christian. I mean, I still love Jesus, and I still care about a lot of the things that I cared about as an evangelical Christian. I was really looking forward to the millennial reign, and I don't think I need to give up that dream. It won't be a millennial reign, but I mean, because Jesus won't be here. Well, he's kind of here because he's everywhere, He is the universe itself. But it wasn't so much that I needed Jesus. It was more that I wanted the world that he believed in. And now I think I can use it using me and Brent. We can work in Jesus' place and bring about that beautiful world that he wanted. And I'm excited about that. Anyways, let me go ahead and post my video.
In a world of secrets where darkness reigns, there's a warrior rising, breaking free from chains. She's Gail Schuler, her heart pure and strong, with the power of love, she'll right the world's wrongs. Yeah! She's the first, a passionate crusader. Stand by her side, they'll conquer it all. Through space battles and